Okay, so advanced PWA rules. This module, which you can find at this address, and that of course is the machine name for the module. This module will add two rules actions. One, it'll send a push notification to all users, which is actually all devices that are subscribed to the website. And we can send a push notification to a specific user, which would then go to all of their devices. Okay, so I'll show you this. If you know rules, these are the different context variables that it expects, which is a title, a message, and a link. If you're sending it to a specific user, there'll be a user ID field. So they're the variables. At this point, if you know rules, you can pretty much hit stop and go and get on with using it. What I want to do is I want to give you a little example, if you will, of how we can use this module and use rules to create a really nice reactive system when it comes to push notifications. Okay, so if we go home, I've installed the PWA rules module and I've installed rules. What we're going to do is when somebody posts a new article, we're going to send everybody a push notification. So that'll be our first rule. So we go to configuration, workflow rules. And what we're wanting to do is add a reaction rule. And the rule has three parts to it. And the first one's the event. So essentially the way rules works is it gives you lots of different events. And also other modules add new events. So if we go to content, after saving new content item, restrict by type, article, and settings, we put, once you've put in a label for the rule, which is for your reference, we give it a tag that allows us to search our rules a lot easier by grouping them together. So we just put this down as push notifications. And hit save. Okay, so depending on the event that's happened that you're reacting on, you're going to have different data available to you within the rule. So if we go down to add action, and we go and select our send all push notification, click continue, and we can see three things here. We've got the notification title, we got the message that we're going to send, and then we've got the link so when someone clicks on the push notification, this is where we're going to send them. So I'll fill these in. Okay, so I've popped in a title, new article has been published. We've popped in a message, check out the latest article, and then we've put the placeholder for the node title. This kind of eluded me at the beginning, so I want to just touch on that a little bit. What you'll see is switch to data selection on these text fields, or we can once we've clicked switch to data selection, we can click here and it's going to give us all the different data that's available to us in this rule. So to get that node title, just as an example, I clicked on the node, the one that's being saved, click dot, and then I scroll down to title, and then I copied that, putting it in two curly brackets. So two curly brackets, space, whatever this is, space, two curly brackets. And this is essentially a twig variable, really. So that's how I find the different pieces of data that I might want to add into text fields. And once I've completed that, I can switch back and put in the value that I actually want. So that's what I usually do. I keep one of these on the data selection so that I can get my variables for the above. And what we're going to do, hopefully. Okay. So now I've got all the different twig variables that I want to make up the link. And that's how I found them. If we'll go now, go save. And save the rule. Okay, cool. So that should be working fine. Let's go and test it out. Add content, an article. Pop in some dummy values. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on the article. We popped in a title. We've popped in a body. So let's now save that. Now remember the push notifications will only get sent out on cron. My advice to you is to trigger the cron one from your server and then install Ultimate Cron, where you can specify how regularly to run each of the cron jobs that's on your website. So what you would do is set everything to, an appropriate, and this one I would set to every 5 minutes, depending on how busy your website is. So let's run the cron now. And there we go. Our rule fired, and then we can see incredibly urgent information about and that's it. That's how we send out push notifications. If I go in here, I've actually got two because I'm subscribed in Microsoft Edge and also Google as different users. Okay, so the next rule that it gives us is the ability to email a single user's devices. So what we're going to do is we've got comments on here, and what we're going to do is when somebody adds a new comment, we're going to send a push notification to the author of the article. So let's go and do that. Go back to workflow rules. And we're going to add a new reaction rule. And this time we're going to go comment. And after saving a new comment, we're going to fire this rule. Restrict by type. You can either do none, obviously, or default comments, which is what I'm going to do for this website. And then pop in a label. Okay, so send push notification to author for new comments. Let's go down now. I didn't do the tag, I forgot about that. We'll do it in a minute. Okay, so after saving a comment entity of default comments, we are going to send a specific user a push notification. Continue. And we fill in these details. And what we actually do here is we get some twig tokens. So switch to data selection. And then we go comment dot. And then we want author, which we're going to find down here. And then we go to the entity user. And then we go to name, text value. Okay, cool. Let's go and pop that up here. So now that I've got my values for the title and the message, which we can see new comment for the no title, and then the value then is the author of the comment's name commented on your post. So pretty common thing that we'd want to do. We're going to switch now to Okay, so I've got a pre-populated value for that. But what you can see, look, is I've just done exactly the same thing. And in rules, you're always going to have site variables available to you, as well as other things. Okay, so that's our rule. And now we've got one more thing we've got to do, and that's fill in the user ID. So if we go switch, and now what we're going to do is go to comment dot, or period if you're American. And then we're going to go to the entity ID that this comment is attached to. And then we're going to go to the entity. And then we're going to go to the user ID. And then we're going to select target ID. And target ID is the user ID. Okay, so we are going to, the user ID we're going to send it to is, we've gone comment, we've gone to the entity the comment's attached to, we've gone to the user ID that made that entity, and then we've got to the target ID because this expects an integer, not a user object. Okay, cool. So click save on that. Click save on that. And what the hell? And that is all we should need to do. So let's go and test this one out. So we go back to site, scroll down, add in our comment. Once we've filled in the comment, we hit save. So that's that done. Now, obviously, we've got to run cron because otherwise nothing gets sent out. And what we can see here is we've received the notification. If we go in here, and there you go. So yeah, that's an introduction to rules. Hope you enjoyed it. Putting these modules together gives you the ability to create quite an advanced system when it comes to push notifications and to do it all through point and click configuration. See you on the next one.